buying property in Costa Rica. It can be a very rewarding experience. However, it can be very challenging. When searching for real estate in Costa Rica, there's a lot of challenges to finding the right place. And while it's nice to be able to go to Google and type in Costa Rica real estate, you can find some real estate sites and you can look at some photos and you can take a look at the listing and get a little bit of information about the place. But the truth is, you only see what the photographer or the realtor wants you to see. You only know what they want you to know. And so you don't really know how far away from town is it? How close is it to the nearest hospital? And so what you have to do is bookmark a few of them, make appointments, then you got to get on a plane, spend thousands of dollars to fly all the way to Costa Rica only to realize it's not what you thought. But wouldn't it be nice if from the comfort of your home, you can kind of get on a virtual airplane and you could research where is that property located at? How far away is that property from the nearest town? How far away is it from the neighbors? And are there hills, mountains, valleys, rivers? Wouldn't it be cool to do a little bit of research from the comfort of your home, find out all of the facts, and then book that flight to Costa Rica? Well, today I'm going to show you how you can do all of that from the comfort of your home. So buckle up, put on your seatbelt. We're getting on my virtual plane to Costa Rica. Today, I want to show you how to find a lot of facts about a piece of property before spending a ton of money to come all the way to Costa Rica, only to find out it's not at all like the realtor told you or what it seemed like in the photos you saw on the real estate website. In today's video, we'll learn how to research an area when you find a potential piece of property that you think you might be interested in buying. I'll even show you how to use Google Maps to locate and see what does the terrain in that area look like. Will you possibly need a four-wheel drive, or is this piece of paradise only accessible by horseback or helicopter? Do you have neighbors with 15 barking dogs, or will you get to enjoy the peace and quiet of a paradise you've been dreaming about? Let me show you a couple of basic computer tricks before we start so you'll be able to do the same thing after we're done with today's video. So if you go to Google, then you can, in the address bar, just simply type in maps.google.com. Once you're there, let's pretend that you're wanting to see something in Costa Rica. So we're going to go somewhere that's very popular, Dominical Beach. And you can see that some of the suggestions will come up, and that's probably because I've been there a lot, but we'll look at Dominical Beach and I'll click on that. And so now I'm going to close this screen, but here I can see all kind of stuff, and I can scroll and I can make it a lot smaller. As I'm scrolling, I can see this very popular road that I've shown you before that goes from San Isidro in the Pere Zeledon area and goes all the way down to Dominical. It's about 45 minutes, an hour to travel down this road, so this is really a great place to be. However, would it be kind of cool to see what does this terrain look like right here? Well, this is the street or road map view, and if we come down here and click on the satellite image, we now change to satellite. Well, that's kind of cool, but I can't really see what the terrain looks like, and that would be kind of cool to do as well. So let me show you. On your computer, mine is already in 3D mode, and you may not know how to do that. Well, I'm going to click on this globe, and you see when I click on the globe, I can move it, but that's all I can do. I can zoom out and zoom in, but I want to be able to see the mountain range and see what does the terrain look like. So if I come to the globe and if I click on it, it will enable 3D mode. So I click on it, I now can do 3D mode, and I can really, if I hold down the control button on your keypad or the alt button for a Mac user like me,
Well, then you can turn it around and you can see the direction. You can tilt it and pan up, and wow, take a look at that. You can really just see, the actual terrain, and you can see this humongous bluff. And so you can see that, hey, this is San Ysidro, and you can travel down the mountain and all the way to Dominical. You can actually look around and you can see what it looks like. And it's like, now this is just cool, because you can even see underwater, and it's like, whoa, check this out. And you can really zoom in and you can see things. So this is just a really neat feature to be able to use, okay? So I'm going to show you how you can do that and a couple of other nifty tricks. Right now, let's look at a piece of property that I found interesting. And so let's pretend for a moment that you're interested in this piece of property and you've been talking to the realtor, but guess what? He's given you some photos, but you're really just, not real sure about it because he's not giving you all the information. Hey, it is 11 acres with streams. And when I'm looking for a piece of property, I would not buy a piece of property unless I have water on my property. And this one, 11 acres with streams, is only $165,000. And while that may sound like a great deal, well, if it's out in the middle of nowhere and it's only accessible by horseback or helicopter, it's not worth that much money. Now, if this is only a few minutes from Dominical and it's not that difficult to get to next to a blacktop road, I would say yes, it is worth $165,000. So today, let me show you how you can find a piece of property on a real estate website, and then we can determine, or we can locate that on Google Maps so we can find out, well, this looks interesting, but where is it located? Let me get more information. Let's do that right now. So another nifty trick is, because this is kind of small and I want to make it bigger. So I can hit Control Plus, and if I hit Control Plus, as you can see, I can make it bigger. And if you look in the upper right hand corner of the screen, you can see it says 150. I can hit the minus button, 125, 110, 100. So I'm going to make this larger so you can see this better as well. So here we are at this property, and you can see it has just this small place. And when I look at the description, let me give you some background information. It says it's a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, but it's 11 acres, so it's pretty big, and this area is only 398 square feet on this property. But that's not important, because I'm going to build what I want, but this might be a perfect place to live in while I'm building. So we can see that this says it's located in the Lagunas area of Dominical, Costa Rica. And it says that, hey, this is a great place to start. It's got a great view, according to here, that you can see across the valley and the jungle-covered mountains. But what's important, it says it's open, farmable land, and it's got a variety of mature fruit trees, bamboo, and ample pasture for horses if you want horses. I love that. There is a little 2-story starter home, and yeah, it's basic, but it gives you a place to live while you're building your own. There's already a carport in place, so if you have a nice car, you want underneath a carport, which is important in Costa Rica. There is a start of 2 rooms and an adobe fireplace. Okay, that's interesting. What's most important about this whole thing is it says that water flows in abundance year-round. That's very important. And it says it comes from 2 springs that's on the land. The river below is amazing with smooth rock. It's a perfect place to take a dip. And the river cuts the property right down the middle. So this sounds like it's a great place. And it tells you that it's located past the town of Lagunas in Punta Mira and about 25 minutes from Dominical. Well, this sounds really interesting. But I could talk to the realtor, and is the realtor going to tell me that it's out in the middle of nowhere? Probably not. He's trying to get a commission. So let me show you how we can get a lot of facts by doing a little bit of research on Google. So here's what we're going to do. Let's quickly take a look at some of these photos so we can find out whether we are interested or not. So if I take a look here, it is just a small place, but look, we can see, okay, it's in a jungled area, but they've cleared out a big portion of their area, and we can see it's a little house here. But there's really another house here that you're not seeing. This looks like it's actually 2 places. I don't know if this is just a carport, but anyway, let's look a little more. And if we go, there we go. There's the little bitty 1-bedroom, 1-bath house. There's what looks like maybe the starter of another, or maybe it's the carport. And we can see that it looks like it's up on a hill and it comes down. So let's take another look. And there's this little adobe fireplace, which looks like maybe a starter of something over here, a project that they never finished, and now they're trying to sell it. So if we take a look, now look right here, in case you don't know, that looks like a river or a stream flows through here. So this goes downhill, and so that's a good sign right there. Keep looking, now it looks like an abandoned project. You know, maybe they decided to go back to the States. And so this looks like that's that adobe fireplace, that abandoned project of maybe another home, and that road goes right through here to the house. And so if we're looking, that shows you the awesome view they have from their home, okay? And that looks like there might possibly be some water right there. So I'm taking note of things to help us find this property on Google Maps. Another view, there we go. Okay, there's the place, and it doesn't look like much, but hey, if I was interested in this, I would definitely live there while I'm building my place. Okay, and it shows you the water on the property, which that's important. I like this, okay? And they're saying it's year-round, so this does look like it's a beautiful little spot. Okay, so this has probably a drone view, which is great. I can see this little 1-bedroom house. This is other place. Looks like the driveway comes from here, and it goes up that hill maybe, see? Okay, great. This is important to see all of this, and we're going to use these photos to find this actual place. So now that I got this, I can see that this is the 1-bedroom and this is carport area. All right, great. This looks good. This looks like this is the creek I'm telling you about right here, or what they're telling us about. All right, this is looking pretty good. It gives me some more information. There's this little carport area, so we can see it's not much. All right, fantastic. This is giving me some information, and I can see that this is a big clearing area here, big clearing area here. They're inside a wooded area, but they've cleared this small spot. Okay, that looks good. So now that I have that information, I need to actually find this on Google Maps. And most real estate sites actually have a little map on their website. If we look right here, we can see this map, and we can actually zoom in and out to give us an idea where it's located. So if we zoom out, we can see, let me zoom in just a little more. There's Cape Pulse, okay? There's San Ysidro up here. Well, that looks like the road that goes between San Ysidro and Dominical, and there's a pin drop showing that location. And sometimes they're accurate and sometimes they're not. If I zoom in a little more and move this map, I can see, oh, look, that's the Whale's Tail. So that gives me an idea of where we're located. This purple line here looks like it might be a road, but it's probably not. This is probably a divider of Punta Arenas and San Jose, the district areas, okay? And this orange is probably the road that goes along the coast. So we're gonna use this information to get a better view or a better idea of where we're at. So, okay, great. This shows us where we're at. Like I said, look, there, if we zoom in, we can see that there is 243, which is the road that goes up to San Ysidro. All right, so now that we have an idea, let's go to Google Maps to see if we can kind of get a closer look at this area. This says it's located in Lagunas, okay, so it's located past the town of Lagunas. Okay, great. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy Lagunas, and I'm gonna go back to my map. I'm gonna open this up, and let me take this out, Dominical Beach, put in Lagunas. Look right here, it says Lagunas, and let's take a closer look. And look, this says that this is where Lagunas is at. So let's go back to the map view as we're trying to locate. So I'm gonna zoom out, and I'm gonna try to get this map to look very similar to the map that we've seen. So there's San Ysidro, there's the road, here's the Whale's Tail, Cape Pulse is over here, and if I go back to our site, we can see that if I zoom out, yep, there's the Whale's Tail over here, Cape Pulse over here, so we're in the right area. Let's zoom in a little bit, okay? So it looks like there's this right here, the division of the provinces. So let's go find that on the map. So here we are, and look, here's the division of the Providences. And if we take a look, and the Providence makes this big dip right here, okay? And if we go back to the actual map, we see that there's the Providence, and it makes that big jump right here, a curve, and that house is located in this area. If we go back to our map, then according to our map, that house is probably located in this area. All right, great. We're getting more information. Let's zoom in a little more. So our house is probably in here. Let's go back to our website here and let's zoom in. If we zoom in, and okay, great. It says Tierras Morenas. Okay, I'm probably butchering that up, but that's okay. I just need to know about where it's located. Okay, here we go. There's this little town. It's right close to the border of the Province of San Jose. Great, and this on this side is the Province of Punta Arenas. And this is great. This is what I'm looking for, okay? All right, great. Let's go back to our Google map. If we go to our Google map, here we are. It's somewhere close. And look, there's a Providence of San Jose, Punta Arenas. Let's zoom in. Let's find that little town that we were looking for. I'm looking for some roads here, so it's not coming up just yet. Okay, here's some roads here. Okay, I went too far. Oh, take a look. There's Tierras Morenas. Okay, and if we go back here, that's what we're seeing. All right, we're getting close. There it is. We're getting close. All right, there it is here. And you see, it's not far from Lagunas, like they said. So there's Lagunas. It seems to be here. All right, so let's zoom in a little more. Okay, if we zoom in, I know it's a little bit hard. Look, there we go. Okay, we're zooming in, and here's this road that comes here, and that road is close to the border. Great, great. Okay, if I zoom out, there we go. And this road is called Peak Road. Okay, and it comes down and comes this way. Okay, this is, oh look, the school of Punta de Mira. I believe that the website told us Punta Mira. We're getting closer. So if we take a look, here we are. Here's Tierras Morenas. That road goes down. It catches here, comes down, and if we zoom in, look, it comes down and it makes a sharp, this big S curve. That shouldn't be too hard to find, okay? So follow that road here, come down, big S curve. Let's find that. All right, follow the road down. Oh, look at this big S curve right here. All right, great. We're getting hot. All right. If we come here, it says, according to here, it's located in this area. Let's zoom in some more. Okay, according here. Now, the important thing is that a lot of real estate sites don't put the pin map real close because they don't want you to do what I'm teaching you right now. Okay, so let's see if we can locate this. Now, based on the images that we looked at, let's go back. There's that big S curve. Okay, now that we've got that big S curve, we can go into satellite mode and see if we can locate our area. Now that we're in satellite mode, here's that big S curve, and take a look. All right, now if we just zoom in, okay, take a look. You see that water? Remember we talked about this big open area, and remember we talked about, look at this. Trees, they're in a forested area, but they've cleared a small area. Well, if we go back to our site, and if we go back to those photos we looked at, let's go and take a look at some photos. Whoop, look at that. A treed forested area next to a clearing. Right here, there's a house, this. Let's go to our map. Look right here. Doesn't that look the same? Wow, looks like we are finding what we're looking for. Great, look at here. There's a little house, something in the back. Let's go back to our photos. Little house, something in the back. Looks like we have found our spot. Wow. All right. So if we take a look at some more photos, that's the stream. we can kind of confirm by looking and take a look. There's a house. There's a little bitty house kind of hiding behind those trees, I believe. Okay, and we can see that's the clearing. Okay, and take a look. That's another shot. There's that adobe fireplace. Okay, this is good. All right, let's go back to our map. All right, we're looking really good, okay? So now we can zoom out, and it appears that this is as much as Google Maps will let us zoom in. In more populated areas, you can zoom in even more. However, it's not going to let us because it's just not a very populated area. But this is important for you to know. Now that we have found this area, it's like, okay, how far away are we from anybody? Obviously, we can see that we don't have any neighbors and we don't have to worry about 15 barking dogs and a teenager having a party every Friday night and turning up the music to where we're both listening to that music. Doing me a favor? Anyway, we can see that we don't have to worry about neighbors. However, if you're not someone that wants to be that far out, you're like, where am I going to buy my groceries? Well, you can zoom out and you can say, okay, well, this area over here, is there anything over here? But what's more important, before I go looking, I want to see what does the terrain look like. So now, I told you we're in 3D mode. I can hit control and I can now look at the terrain. Wow, okay. Yes, I'm loving this because right up the hill, look, I can see that. It gives me an idea how high up I am. That's the valley way down below. Quebradas de Casadas, so there's something in here, a little community. There's a river there. If I back up, wow, I'm liking this. Kind of like we're in a drone looking at the terrain, and I can turn that terrain around by holding that control button and just dragging. I can turn around and I can see some of the terrain. Okay, great. So the house is here, and I can see where we're at. Okay, I'm liking this. Okay, now I can see. And obviously, this kind of gives us an idea by positioning it like this and coming over, then we could say probably that water flows through. And they said that there was a creek that cuts the property in half. So, you know, it looks like if I zoom in a little closer, it looks like water probably follows along here. There's probably water. You see this right here? If we zoom in, that looks like water might flow that way, but that's kind of flowing in the wrong direction. That might be a road that might be your driveway. So it looks like this is kind of the main road here that makes the big S curve. And it looks like you might take this road, and it looks like this probably goes to the road that then comes to your house. That could be it. So the creeks are somewhere in here, and I'm thinking it probably follows along this ridge. Okay. Now that we've seen this, the idea is, okay, is this accessible only by helicopter and horseback? Well, obviously not, because we can see that this road takes us here. And you know what? It doesn't look like I would even need a four-wheel drive. It looks like I have no problem if I zoom out. But what I am worried about is how far away from town is this? You know, how far am I gonna have to drive to get a loaf of bread? So let's find that out real quick. I'm gonna come right over here, and if I click that, okay, I wanna find directions. So I can click on directions right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click on the house. So if I click right here, you see it puts a pin drop, and I'm gonna say I want directions from that point. If I click, it's now saying, okay, what is your starting point? Well, I'm saying that this is my starting point. I click, and you see it put my starting point in right there. And if you see, it already tells me, go up here. So now I don't know if there's a road right there, but I'm thinking the road is this away to up here, but maybe there is a tiny road right here. But anyway, it's showing me. Now, where do I want to go? So, you know, this is my starting point, and where do I want to go? I want to go to Dominical. So I'm going to clear this out, or let me clear this out, and I'm going to put in Dominical Beach. I'll click right here, and now it zooms out, and there you go. Wow. There it tells me, and it tells me it's about 13 and a half kilometers. is the fastest route. It's 30 minutes away. So I am 30 minutes away from Dominical. Okay, well, that's interesting, but I know there's not a lot of places to go shopping in Dominical, and I know that there's better shopping over here. If I zoom out, I know there's better shopping in San Isidro. Well, how far away is it from San Isidro? Well, let's find out. So I'm going to take this out, and I'm going to put in San Isidro. San Isidro DL General. I know I'm not pronouncing that right. I think it's General. Anyway, let me click on it. And there we go. It's now telling me I'm 1 hour and 4 minutes away from San Isidro and 35 kilometers. Well, guess what? 1 hour to go into San Isidro to Walmart and get everything I need. Well, if I'm willing to do that, and I want to be out in a secluded area where I don't have 15 barking dogs and I don't have any neighbors, but yet I can still buy everything I need. And guess what? If I just want a loaf of bread, then I don't have to go all the way there. I can come over here. There's a town here, but it looks like if I come over here, Cascada Trace, okay, to Bauru. And let's see, where's going to be the closest place? If we zoom out, okay, look, it looks like my closest place is going to be in Plantanillo, and I do know that there's places that I can shop in Plantanillo. So let me put that in and see how far away I am to Plantanillo. So let's take this out, and we're going to put in Plantanillo. Now it's Platanillo, not plant. Platanillo. And let's see here. There's Plantanillo, San Jose, Plantanillos. All right, let's pick that. And take a look. It's giving me several routes to go, and this dark blue one is the shortest route. So obviously you can choose, and you know, one route may be better paved than the other, so you might choose one over the other. So I'm going to go ahead and choose the shortest route right here and get details. And if I take a look, it says that's the fastest route, which is only 29 minutes away and only 12 kilometers. So I can take the fastest route to get over here in Platanillo and buy some groceries, some vegetables at the local farmers market, and everything I need. So now that is just really cool. I really like how I can find out information. So you tell me, was this cool? Were you able to really find some stuff? And this is really neat because now that you're here, you can click on the map view. You can see where you're at. Look, there's Dominical. I'm way up here where it's nice and cool. And I really wish there was a way for me to see the altitude. But maybe I'll research and find out. But anyway, what's neat is I can see there's San Isidro. Here's Dominical. I really like this area. And for me, going back to this, I would say, you know what? It's 11 acres, and I can really build whatever I want. It's way out here in the middle of anything. So now that kind of goes back to, is 11 acres with streams worth $165,000? Well, with the experience that I have, I can tell you that in my opinion, I probably wouldn't pay more than $100,000 for this. However, it's up to you. This place already has running water, obviously, because they have a house. But what kind of electricity? You know, it didn't say. Is there electricity here or not? It may not have electricity. However, you now have learned how you can research everything that you need to find out, is this something you would be interested in? And for me, if I didn't already have a place, yep, I think this would be something I'm interested in because I'm only going to have a piece of property that has ample water on it and water that I have access to 24/7, 365 days out of the year. And that is just really cool that I can see that. And I did this earlier showing you how you can find that. So take a look. There it is, only 30 minutes to Dominical by following that particular road. That is really cool. I love that I can actually put this in 3D mode and we can see that we're down here on just the other side of that mountain, but I can follow this ridge and follow this ridge all the way over to right through Lagunas, over into Bauru, and then I can follow the main road that comes to Dominical. I love to be able to see that I can look at all of this terrain and get an idea of where I'm living at. So if you really enjoyed what you've learned today, make sure that you hit that like button. Give me a good thumbs up, leave some comments, tell us, hey, what area would you like to look at? Did you enjoy this virtual tour of this property without ever having to leave the comfort of your home? If you're interested in the property I showed you today, I think it's one of those rare good deals, and you can find a link to this property in the forum. I'll put a link to that topic in the description below. While most of the areas in the forum are free, you can support us in a great way by becoming a premium member for only $10 a month. You'll get access to awesome property deals whenever I find them, along with lots of other areas which are designed only for the folks that love us so much they support us by becoming a premium forum member. We hope you'll consider becoming premium too. So make sure, if you haven't already done so, hit the subscribe button and that notification bell so that you can find out more about the videos that we have coming each and every week. I look forward to seeing you again in our next Living in Costa Rica video.